Hello, and welcome to day 2 of week 1. Okay, let's just jump right in. Let's go to week 1. Going to the second day, which is Saturday, January 13th. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a few things. I'm going to talk to you briefly about your literacy narrative, which is your first major assignment, which is going to be due January 24th, so in about 2.5 weeks. And then talk to you about the readings that we have for this week, as well as your first journal writing assignment. So let's just jump right in, yeah? All right. So if I go ahead and click here on the literacy narrative hyperlink, that takes me to the assignment page. And here we go. All right, I'm just going to read to you from the prompt. So for this assignment, you will write a narrative that describes events from your life associated with literacy and connects those events to your current attitudes toward reading and writing. Put a different way, you're going to be writing a story about a particular moment in your life that's associated with reading and writing that informs your current attitudes about reading and writing. So for example, maybe you hate writing and you can trace one of your more salient moments of hating writing back to your 3rd grade teacher, Miss Barnum, who said you were a terrible writer, or something to that effect. It doesn't have to necessarily be that, but that's just an example. All right, so these events should help the reader understand how you use written language, how you feel about written language, what value written language has in your life, for works, for school, for pleasure, for accomplishing everyday tasks, etc., and how you came to hold your views about reading and writing. You will not be graded on your viewpoints, only how well you complete the assignment. And I want to stop here and highlight this. This is something I'm going to repeat every single assignment because no matter how many times I say it, students still seem to not grab onto this, and these are the students that don't do as well on the paper. The best way that you can guarantee a high grade for any assignment is if you follow the instructions of the assignment. You could write a fantastic paper on why the Patriots are the best football team in the NFL, but if I'm asking you to write a report about or summarize an academic article, it doesn't matter how well you write that report on the Patriots, you're not going to get a good grade. So if you follow the guidelines as best you can, that will dramatically increase your likelihood of getting a good grade. So keep that in mind. All right. Rhetorical considerations. When you begin writing anything, you must consider the people for whom you are writing. Who is the audience? What do they need to know? Why do they need to know it? How best can you communicate with this group? For this essay, your audience is me as your instructor. What do you want me to know about your history as a writer? What kinds of details will I need to find your story compelling? How will you communicate the story's overall significance to me? And as far as getting into more of the specifics of how to do some of those things, there's a reading I'm going to point out to you in just a moment to help you give you a better idea of how to write a literacy narrative, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. All right, so the formatting. Academic writing has a particular format standards that you follow for this essay and pretty much every essay in this class. So you have double space throughout, no extra spaces, 1-inch margins. Include a works cited page if you reference any outside sources. Obviously for this one it's a story about your own writing, so you don't have to, but if you do use outside sources, try to cite them. Use a standard font equivalent to Times New Roman 12-point font, so this can be Times New Roman, Arial, a few other ones, Georgia would be fine too. Submitting your essay. Your literacy narrative in a word processing program and save it, or a PDF, making sure it contains approximately 500 to 700 words. So if you were to translate that into page length, double spacing your lines, it's about a page or a page and a half, depending on if you do 500 or 700. Cool. All right. Grading. I will look for the following as I read and evaluate your essay. Is the essay about reading and writing practices? Does the essay tell a story or a series of stories about literacy? Quick note on that. Given that you have a very, very short page length, I would recommend picking out one, no more than 2, moments in your life that informed your current attitudes about reading and writing. You can do more, but it wouldn't be as good. I'd rather you focus on 1 or 2 things and really flesh those out and go into really good detail, vivid description about those memories that you have. Let's see, does the author give his or her viewpoint about reading and writing? Are connections drawn between that viewpoint and the story? Does the author draw conclusions about the value of reading and writing in his or her life? And does the author demonstrate an awareness of her audience, the purpose of her writing? So you pay attention to these fellas right here, you'll be good to go. And then the format, does the essay follow the format requirements given the assignment, which I highlight right here? and has the essay been carefully proofread? For me, grammar is, and we'll get to this later on the semester, as far as the hierarchy of important things about writing, grammar falls at the bottom, but I still do, it doesn't hurt your paper to do proofreading, so just make sure to read this is what I recommend with everybody, this is what I do with my own papers. I'll either read it out loud myself to catch some obvious errors that your mind tends to fill in the blank as you're reading, or you can use text to voice functions where you highlight text and then you have your computer read it out to you. So either one of those, do that with every paper assignment you ever do. I promise you, you won't regret it. It's a really easy way to catch really stupid mistakes that you would have missed otherwise. Okay, let's go back to the week 1 page. All right, so you've got a few readings for this week too, or not this week, but for this day 2. Writing a literacy narrative. This is just about writing a literacy narrative. The authors talk about, they give you 3 examples of some literacy narratives that are different but are essentially literacy narratives. Then they give you some further concrete points about how to go about writing this, getting started if you're not entirely sure. Very helpful if you're not familiar with this particular genre or you're not really sure what to do. After you read that, you will read How to Tame a Wild Tongue. This is a bit of a mishmash between an academic text and something else. I don't really know what to describe it as. It's very different though. And essentially, Anzaldúa is doing what we're doing now, is she's telling a kind of literacy narrative, but it's a little more academic, and it's also a little bit transgressive with academic texts because she uses a lot of different languages. She uses poetry, she uses, not Spanish, is it Mestiza? I can't remember the specific dialect of Spanish that she uses, but a specific dialect of Spanish. And as soon as you finish reading that, you will do your first journal response, which is right here. So if I click on Journal 1, Resonating with Anzaldúa, I'm going to click on that. Very simple prompt. Anzaldúa's How to Tame a Wild Tongue is itself a kind of literacy narrative. Choose a sentence from her article that resonates with you for any reason. Quote the line and explain your connection to the essay in 150 to 200 words. Short response. Simply choose a quote that really resonated with you for whatever reason and then write about that. And then what you'll do is, you can't see it on my screen because I'm on the teacher function or the teacher view right now, but there will be an option for you to submit. So submit it either as a Word doc or a PDF, upload it, and then I'll give you feedback on that. Cool. All right. Let's see. Going back, oh, there's one more thing. So I don't have it up yet, but keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to try and actually email some of my past students and see if I can't get 1 or 2 models of literacy narratives that they've written that I think are good models to use, and so I'll upload those to this optional area in just a little bit. And if you would like, outside of that though, I do have these up right now. I have 2 different videos that are examples of literacy narratives. Granted, these are in video format, which if you decide to do a video format, I'm actually totally for that. I would love to see those. So if you want to make a video of your literacy narrative, by all means go ahead. I will say though that it, in my past experience, whenever I've done optional digital assignments like this, I typically end up writing the story anyway and then do the video, so it ends up being a little bit more work. But it's fun. I like to do that kind of stuff, and for those of you who maybe are more prone to do that, I would encourage you to do that as well. But anyway, here are some examples for you to check out. And that's pretty much it. In the meantime, again, if you have any questions, please email me. I would be happy to talk with you. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time.